morning, for the first time ever, public school curriculum infused with Bible lessons will be allowed and rewarded.
8-7, the motion passes.
The Texas Board of Education narrowly approved new state-authorized curriculum for 2.3 million public school students from kindergarten through 5th grade, starting next year. Material being taught includes the Golden Rule, using lessons from the Bible and referring to the Bible as a series of ancient texts.
The way that they're taught in a setting that children can study the Bible as a piece of literature, which it has been recognized as for so many years in the Western world.
But the material pulls from Christianity more than any other religion. Critics say it alienates students of other faiths and violates the First Amendment.
Church-state separation is the shield that protects religious freedom for all of us.
The curriculum that passed is optional, but schools that use the material stand to gain at least $40 per student in extra funding.
What do you anticipate the next steps will be?
Well, for one, we're urging all superintendents across the state of Texas not to implement this unconstitutional curriculum. Public schools are not Sunday schools, and our lawyers are standing by.
It's the latest in a Republican-led push likely to face legal challenges. Louisiana was set to place the 10 Commandments in all public schools until a federal judge blocked it this month. Oklahoma's top education official ordered teachers to include the Bible in 5th through 12th grade lessons. A group of teachers and parents filed a lawsuit to stop it.
What's going on, you guys? This is Kevin with G.F.E, God, Family, and Everything Else podcast. So today I was going through online and I came across this article. I'm a little late to the game because this was back in November, but it looks like Texas has approved new Bible-based curriculum for elementary schools. When I heard about this, I thought this was great news. I know there are some people that have mixed feelings about it, and there's some people that completely reject the idea because they may not be a Christian or they just don't believe that the Bible belongs to public school. But for me, I just think this is a great way to build up our children, build a foundation on biblical teaching and how we should treat others and whatnot. But, you know, that's just my opinion. Other people, again, may feel differently and strongly feel differently and may reject the idea. That's perfectly fine. That you have every right to do that. And but this may be first of many, or this may be the only one. Who knows? But my prayer is that this is utilized in a good way of not trying to force it on children, because again, God doesn't force himself into our life. He wants to invite us, but at the same time, the Bible teaches about loving, caring, and sharing and helping other people. So I think this is a good foundation to help shape our children as they grow older, because ultimately they're going to make the decision themselves if they want to choose Christ or if they want to choose a different route. So why not start it this way? Again, you may not agree, but I'm just going to go ahead and read through this article, and then I found another page where it's kind of talking about the curriculum and how it should be, what they believe and how it should be used. But it says right here, the Texas Board of Education voted 8-7 on Friday to approve the new Bible-based curriculum in elementary schools. Their curriculum, called Blue Bonnet Learning, could be implemented as soon as August 2025 and affects English and language arts teaching material for kindergarten through 5th grade public school classes. Teachers will have the choice to opt into the new faith-based learning curriculum, but the state is offering a financial incentive of $60 a student for participating in the school districts. So it's an option, it's a choice. It's not like it's saying this is what it's going to be, this is how we're going to do it. It's an option. Children can choose, or teachers can choose to go with it, and teachers may feel differently and choose not to. And then what I think, let's just be real. What I think is important is when the teacher does decide to do it, I think that the teacher should, at least in the note to the families, to the parents, to let them know, hey, this is what we're going to be teaching, and let them be transparent about it, being like, look, this isn't about church, but this is something that we truly believe this is important, that we should be molding our children with. And you're not brainwashing them or anything. You're teaching them about the core values of being a human being, or one that God has created. And that, again, it goes to loving others, caring for others, helping others, being humble and appreciative of all the things that you have. And that's everything that the Bible teaches. That's everything that God teaches. So again, I do think it's important to be transparent about it and share this with your families, instead of just kind of secretly doing it. But again, I think this is a great idea. I wish more schools would do this. And if I found out my teacher was my children's teacher were doing it, I would, clap my hands. But the Bluebonnet curriculum flagrantly disregards religious freedom on. Let me just go ahead and continue. Sorry. So it looks like parent, teachers, and rights groups expressed outrage at the move that some say violates the U.S. Constitution and will alienate students and teachers of other faiths. The Bluebonnet curriculum flagrantly disregards religious freedom, a cornerstone of our nation since its founding. The same politicians censoring what students can read now want to impose state-sponsored religion onto other public schools. Now, I know this is like an ongoing debate and stuff. Some people say this, some people say that. And from my understanding, that the United States was founded on Judeo-Christian values. Again, you have the groups that sit there and say there's no proof of that. You can't believe that. And I just say, check out the Declaration of Independence and whatnot, some of the writings of the Founding Fathers. But again, it's up to your interpretation, but that's what I truly believe that the United States was founded on. We urge districts to reject this optional curriculum. Again, optional curriculum, and uphold a public school education that honors the religious diversity of constitutional rights of Texas students. So examples of the Bible references of the curriculum include a kindergarten lesson on the Golden Rule, which teaches the importance of treating others the way one would want to be treated, linked to Jesus' Sermon on the Mount and the third grade unit about ancient Rome and Jesus' life. My thing is the Golden Rule: do unto others as you so would want done unto you. What is wrong with that? It seems like the moment you mention Jesus, and that just shows you the power of Jesus' name right there. When the moment people say Jesus, then it's, for some reason, some people get excited, some people just get up like this negative reaction. Just reminds me of when Jesus was being arrested, and Jesus said to the guard, "Who are you looking for?" And they said, "Jesus Nazareth." I can't. What happened? They fell back onto their knee. The moment he mentioned his name, he said, "I am." Boom. And just shows you the power in Christ's name. So, but again, why wouldn't you want your children to learn that Golden Rule? We need to treat other people with respect, regardless of their background, their religious beliefs, or whatever. I don't believe in the Muslim belief. I don't believe in the Buddhism belief. I don't believe in all that. But I will treat you with respect, and we can have a conversation. I'm not going to demonize you. When the opportunity comes, we will have a discussion about our faith, and then I will share with you, and then you can share with me, and then at the end of the day, it's up to you if you want to choose to believe it or not. But as long as we're professional, respectful, and that's what matters as well. So according to the Christian Bible, on the day Jesus was born, his mother Mary and father Joseph were traveling to the town of Bethlehem to register for the census. So the census ordered by the Roman government required Roman citizens to be counted on their names registered. This was used as to help the empire know how many people needed to pay taxes, and is a practice continued by governments to this day. So it's going to be also taught as like a historical document, because the Bible is a historical document. Jesus is real. He was a real man. And then in my faith, Jesus is God. So why not share more historical background about the world? I don't see anything wrong with that. So when Mary and Joseph arrived at Bethlehem, and this is more about when Jesus was arriving, I'm sure you all know that story. So the Christian Bible explains that throughout his life, Jesus taught about God's love and forgiveness and performed many miracles. I say this: at the end of the day, that your children are going to make a decision for themselves. I just believe that while they're young, it's important to teach them the true values of how to be a respectable human being. I wouldn't say how to be good, because nobody is good, to be honest, but how we should treat other people. And the Bible teaches that. So in text messages seen by The Guardian between Chauncey Davis, a former school teacher from the Caddy Independent School District who objected to the curriculum, and State Education Board member Audrey Young, who voted in favor of the curriculum, Young denied any mention of Jesus in the curriculum and doubled down on her vote. You think every single person, regardless of their beliefs, should be learned about the Bible, Davis wrote to Young. Young replied, in order to be able to participate wholly in a literate society. Both Young and the Texas Board of Education did not respond to the request for comment. So this goes on about how they feel about it, and and many people have opinions and whatnot. So I'll go ahead and link this in here. But I also wanted to move over to this where it says the Bible in Public Schools, the First Amendment Guide. Now I wanted to go all the way down to elementary education. And this talks about this, like this whole document right here talks about how the Bible, they believe, should be used in school if it is going to be used. And let's go right back up. Let's go with the search for common ground. And it says, ending the confusion of the conflict of the Bible in public schools would be good for public education and for our nation. But finding common ground will not be easy because Americans have been divided about this issue since the early days of the common school movement. Bible wars. It broke out in the 19th century between Protestants and Catholics over whose version of the Bible would be read each morning in the classroom. So a lawsuit in the 1960s led to the Supreme Court decision striking down the devotional Bible reading by school officials. More recent conflicts have involved differences about the limits of students' religious expression and the constitutionality of the Bible courses offered in the curriculum. So, I mean, it's going to be a debate. It's going to be a battle. And I just, again, at the end of the day, I just think this is great for children to be introduced to biblical teaching. Many people want to say that the Bible teaches about bad stuff, but it's just that it's a lot of things that people want to hear and don't want to actually dive in and find out for themselves what the Bible actually teaches and what the core value of the Bible is. And I get that a lot from some people where they sit there and they want to paint God as some kind of dictator or some kind of a murderer or whatever. Again, at the same time, who are we to say so when we are not God? And what makes us the moral police officer? So when you don't get the full context of each biblical record, that story that's taking place on, like, what's the full context? Why did this happen? Why did God do what he did? When we finally understand all that, then we will sit there and be like, But again, the golden rule where they were talking about for the children, I just think it's a great thing for children to learn how to treat each other, how to treat others, how to learn and respect other people. That's what God intended for mankind to be like, until we broke that, until we became disobedient and decided to try to live for ourselves. But in the confusion above, what it says again, ending the confusion and conflict about the Bible in public schools would be good for public education and for our nation. I mean, just think about it. Think about it this way. If everyone followed what the Bible teaches, I swear to you, this whole world would be a much better place. The Bible, God's word, is like a mirror. It's showing who we truly are and who we truly need in our life. And you know what? Let me just go down to the elementary education part of this document. It says, the study of family, community, various cultures and nation, and other themes of topics important of elementary education may involve some discussion of religion. Elementary students are introduced to the basic ideas and practices of the world's major religions in a number of textbooks and curriculums used by public schools. These discussions of religious focus and generally agreed upon meaning of religious faith, the core beliefs and symbols, as well as important figures and events. Such discussions may include an introduction to the biblical literature as students learn something about the various biblical faiths. So, I mean, growing up, I've learned about, there was like Buddhism, and then there was all kinds of stuff that we were learning about. But you never really see anything about talking about biblical literature, biblical teachings, and I wonder why that is. And the schools were not trying to press that on us when it wasn't biblical. So why not add the Bible in there as well, and then let the students make a choice if they want to continue to pursue that or not. It's that simple. I will say this though: if you abuse it the way that you shouldn't be using the Bible, then that's where it's wrong. Again, we should not force our beliefs on other people. We are more than happy to invite them. We are more than happy to share, but do not force your beliefs on others. And that's not what God is doing. He's not forcing himself into our life. He's inviting us to have a relationship with us. So he's knocking on our hearts, knocking on the door all the time. It's just up to us if we want to let him in. So this early exposure is the study about religion builds a foundation for later, more complex discussions in secondary school literature and history courses. Such teaching is introductory in nature. Elementary education is not the place for the depth treatment of religion. Stories drawn from various religious faiths may be included among the wide variety of stories read by students, but the material selected must always be presented in the context of learning about the religion. So learning about it, nothing's wrong with that. Again, it's up to them if they want to pursue it or not. One court has permitted elective Bible courses of the elementary level, but if such instructions is undertaken, it must be done academically and objectively by a qualified teacher. Children who need to understand that they are studying about what the people of the particular religious tradition believe and practice. Devotional books intended for faith formation or religious education may not be used in a public school classroom. So essentially they're saying, don't present any information where you're sitting there saying you must make a decision now if you want to choose to believe or not. It should be used as education, just learning about it, and then again, you can make that decision later. I mean, nowadays, if you look at the way the world is today, there's some schools that are presenting LGBTQ books and all of that type of information out there. But then you don't see a lot of people rejecting that. You do see a group of people rejecting it, but then there's a large majority of people that are saying that it's perfectly fine. So why not have the Bible? It's one state right now, Texas. I just pray that it'll continue to grow because, again, this nation is moving further away from God. You may agree, you may not agree, as long as you keep your comments respectable, and you have every right to agree or disagree. But one court has permitted elective Bible courses of the elementary level, but if such instruction is undertaken, it must be done academically and objectively by a qualified teacher. Children would need to understand that they are studying about what the people of the particular religious tradition believe and practice. Devotional books, I already read this part. As a secondary schools, a balance of fair curriculum in the elementary grades would not limit study about religion or Judaism or Christianity, but would include a variety of the world's major religious faiths. So I wanted to go ahead and just share that with you. I just, again, think this is one I personally think is great news. Others may feel differently, but me personally, I think it's great news. I think God needs to continue to come back into the lives of the people, American people, into the schools, because we've been pushing him out way too long, and we should not be doing that. God needs to come back. We need to bring him back. So, what did I say? Completely lost my thought. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If this is a great thing, not, whatever. I just think it is. But until next time, I will catch you guys in the next video. And if you could do me a great favor and hit that like, share, and subscribe button, they expand this channel. That'd be terrific. I will catch you in the next video. And if you want life, choose Christ. God bless. Peace.